Chinese hardware, man. There's no plan here.
So you went to Evergreen College
I
in
went, yeah.
Washington, but before that, after you graduated high school, where did you go? What did you do with your life?
Oh, what a sad adventure that was. So, when I was in high school, the phenomenon of dyslexia didn't exist. You were either an idiot or you could do the work. There was no in between. So I just clawed my way through with C's. Having a hideous home life and dyslexia, you can imagine how fun that was. So the council calls me in and says, well, you know, you're kind of an idiot. You have three options. You can go to this Morris Harvey place in West Virginia. They'll take anybody. And I think it was Parsons College in Iowa, and which is now Meditation U, or Paul Smith College in Paul Smith, New York. Well, that was a gorgeous setting in the Adirondack Mountains, so I thought, well, that's fine. I'll just go there. It's close. It's cheap. I'll just do that. So there I was, and oh my God, it was so bizarre because there were, I mean, I'm sure the whole place was dyslexic. I'm sure it was. But these people were no stupider than anybody else. Sure. And it was kind of mystifying. You know, I expected to end up in school with a bunch of tards.
There probably are stupid dyslexics, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know any.
You know, of course not. In any case, and you know, when you're in a situation where the other thing that happened when I first went to college in New York, you could drink at 18, which is a really bad idea. A bad idea, especially for guys coming in from out of state.
Yeah.
And you could buy, you know, a quart of beer for 50 cents. So it was crazy. It was a nut house. And there was this lunatic upstairs named...
Don't give the dyslexics the beer.
No, they'll drink it from the bottom. In any case, they were a charming bunch of scamps and idiots and fools. It was not a bad group of people. They just weren't stupid. You know, they were supposed to be stupid, but they weren't stupid.
Those people just weren't stupid.
They just weren't stupid. But in any case, they were bizarre. And there was this kid that lived upstairs, and all I know him as is the mole. They called him the mole because he looked like a mole. He looked just like a mole. He had a prickly hair and a turned-up nose, and he just looked like he could burrow his way on from here to Nebraska. It was just bizarre. So they called him, and there was this guy, Dick Moon, the Moon. And of course they called him the Moon. They should have called him the Dick, because he was. But he liked torturing the mole. Well, the mole, in his heart of hearts, decided to seek revenge on the Moon. And he waited and waited and bided his time, you know, with all the patience of a Chinese warlord. And ultimately, he worked in the cafeteria. And in the cafeteria, they had these giant 50-gallon milk sacks. And, well, they may have been probably 20 gallons.
Milk
50
sacks?
was, yeah, the sacks of milk in plastic that you know, got milk from. Yeah, that you got milk from. In any case, the mole liked bringing those back to his place, filling them full of water and tossing them off the edge of the building. He was 3 stories up. Well, the Moon had no idea that this was going on. So the Moon decides to park with his girlfriend right next to our building. And it's right under the mole's room, only he's 3 stories up and he's got a 25 or 30 pound bag of water. And so not only that, but he goes running around to everybody. I'm gonna destroy the Moon. Come on up. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna get this son of a bitch. I am going to drown him. So he's with some woman down there in this 57 Plymouth, you know, one with the big fins. You've probably seen those.
Yeah.
Ancient. It was old but in those days because this was like 64. In 64. In any case, we all go up to the moles. There's people looking out the windows all along, and the mole and his buddy, they wrestle this monster bag of water, this balloon, this giant
mole and the
balloon.
rat.
Yeah, I forget who helped them, but they were ever so delicate. They were dying to get this guy. They just eased it to the windowsill and let it go. They had no idea where it was going to come down. It could have come down right on the roof, but it came down on the trunk of the car and sank that trunk completely flat. The whole car went boom, 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 boom. The moon comes stumbling out, screaming. There's water. He thought there was a goddamn, some kind of avalanche or something, screaming and yelling and pulling up his pants, and this poor girl ran away. And that caused the moon to then decide to get revenge on the mole.
Uh-oh.
And that is another story. And he was really clever at that, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the moon was no idiot when it came to tormenting others. Paul Smith's was a huge resort. You have to understand, in the 20s, you couldn't go very far very fast. It was all by train. And the rich guys from New York City all built these fancy lodges and cabins.